This is giving you something to talk about, live TV, or just alive as I like to call it. I am Melissa Krechler. I am your host. I'm an identity coach, spiritual teacher, and business mentor. I am a most passionate business of five, and I'm bringing you today's show for, the 47th time. We're almost at episode 50, and I'm super excited for that. Please go like, follow, and share the show on our various social media accounts. We have accounts on most major platforms. If you would like to be a guest on the show, if you would like to be a sponsor, or you have a topic that you want to see featured on the show, please go and connect with us at justalivetv.com. You can sign up for our newsletter, and we are streaming live straight on our website. So check that out. Today's episode is sponsored by a Phoenix Identity, focusing on identity, reconnecting to yourself, getting rid of what no longer serves you, and creating a safe space for yourself and a life that you love. So that is our sponsor today. Today we are talking about how to ask for help, which is a very powerful message and a very powerful topic. And to do that with me today is none other than Martha Mock. So Martha, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, lovely to see you all here. My name is Martha Mock. I'm a super confident coach, but I'm also someone who has been in silence for over 30 years. Someone who was told that I should shut up, put my head down, and just be the woman, be the wife, be the daughter that my culture had bound me to be. So what it's like to be in silence? That I didn't ask for help when I was experiencing 19 years of abusive marriage. I didn't ask for help when I was bullied at school since the age of 6. And the hardest thing for me to admit, and the one thing that I rejected myself and even blocked in my memory, that I was sexually molested by someone I trust, and I have not told anyone in 30 years. So I wanted to help those of you who are in silence, who looks amazingly successful on the outside, running a few businesses in senior executive position at work. I was one of them. I was a multi-award-winning international makeup artist. I run multiple businesses. So on the outside, I was confident, I was brilliant, and I was positive. But I was also the greatest pretender, someone that who pretend everything was okay, someone who pretend that I was happy. But the one thing that who really give it away every single time was my smile. It was never genuine. So I wanted to help those of you who find yourself trapped, who find yourself stuck, who are too scared, too proud, too afraid to ask for help, to speak up with respect and be heard.
Absolutely. I love that. And that is a powerful message. It's a one of the reasons I started my business, which is, of course, today's sponsor, a Phoenix Identity, is because there are so many people in high profile positions in the media, in news, celebrities, you name it, musicians, who are so unhappy, and they have everything. They have the life, they have, the fame and the fortune and everything that us everyday people wish that we had. But what they don't have is the happiness. They don't have the connection to themselves. They don't have a clear identity. They don't have the ability right now to be happy, to be truly happy. And that's something I am a huge advocate for. And I love that you and I are doing this show, because it's so hard for people to feel confident enough to ask for help, to say that, I'm drowning, I'm not okay, I'm not happy, I'm not, I'm not surviving, or I'm not thriving. I'm, surviving, or I'm living in that shadow. I'm living in that unhappiness. And then it gets to the point where they are, just living a fake humanity, a fake
Exactly.
life.
And I understand how that feel because at that moment, the outsider look at us, feel like that, hey, she got it all. Like, what is she talking about that she's not happy? I could never imagine how she is. All she had to do was ask. But it's not just about that. We can be confident at the workplace. We can be confident seeing other people. But the inside of us to be vulnerable, wow, that word. was like standing on a stage in Miami, naked, with our butt crack actually showing on stage. That's how it felt. And how many people can do that in an instant? Not many. Without me
Yeah.
knowing what vulnerability is, without me understanding that I do not need to take all my clothes off at once to show everyone, I can do it in stages and progress and as I'm comfortable with. And that have helped me to break through all those silence that I kept myself in. And it is true, it is a mindset thing. But if it's like, if you tell someone that, oh, you should have long hair because it makes you look better, and you're talking to someone that who has long hair for 30 years, they're not going to listen. Even though you tell you, if once you change your mindset, it will be so much better. Yeah, but it's too scary. It's too scary. And asking for help for someone who were very successful, what they're thinking of in their head is like, am I going to be treated as a loser? Am I a failure? I don't see anyone around me that needing help. Why do I need to go and look for a coach? Why don't I just toughen up, eat some cement, thicken it up, and just face another day? And that's what a lot of successful women do, just like you mentioned before. Celebrity, TV personnel, even like a Robert Williams. On the outside, he was the most happy person that we know. But on the inside, he was depressed and he ended up
Yep.
taking his life. And how sad is that? We look at it like another sad story and we'll forget it within 2 days. The truth is, the one that who suffer, it linger all our fear inside. We're all
Yep.
scared that one day that will be us. So what do we do about it?
Look at look at Johnny Depp. So right now in
Mm,
the media, it's Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, right?
mm,
And you have, I'm sorry, and I'm going to talk about this on live TV. I'm 38. I'm going to be 39 this year. I grew up ideal. Oh, have you ever watched the movie Hall Pass where, the wife and the husband are each given this hall pass, right? So I know a few couples who have their celebrity hall pass, right? Johnny Depp has always been my celebrity hall pass. He was my dream growing up. And he's always had this very strong, very masculine persona. And in the news over the last few weeks, they're doing the depositions, they're doing, the testimonies, and they played an audio recording or a text message. I don't know exactly what it was because I didn't hear it. But over the news, they're talking about something that Amber Heard had said was, go ahead, Johnny, tell everybody, the great Johnny Depp, is being abused by my wife. And she mocked him. And a lot of people in high profile positions, in celebrity positions, feel that they're being, that they're going to be rejected. And it's not just high profile individuals. This is everyday people. If you admit, I have a problem, I have an issue, I have a weakness, I have vulnerability, you are terrified, especially when you're in the media, especially when you have a reputation to uphold. When you admit that you have a problem, whether it is just how you feel, you're terrified that you're going to be rejected, you're going to be ridiculed, you're going to be removed or disowned or discredited because of that issue. And it's really not. You really shouldn't feel that way. You are allowed to be unhappy. Men nowadays, and I know that we're women, and I know that we're talking about, asking for help. How many men statistically are sitting there being abused verbally, mentally, physically? Men have been raped by women, other men. But it's this thought process, right? That I'm weak if I admit it. I'm weak if I'm going to be rejected or ridiculed, all of that. And it's so sad how many people stay unhappy because they're scared of the repercussions. And again,
yes.
that's one of the reasons why when I started a Phoenix Identity, it wasn't called a Phoenix Identity when I started it. But when I started Phoenix Identity, it was about 5, 6 years ago. And I created it because I saw two of my favorite musicians commit suicide, and that was Chester Benningfield and Chris Cornell. And it devastated me because these two seemingly amazing human beings who are creative and artistic, and all of a sudden they're gone. And the fact that they took their own lives because they thought they had no other option, that's hard. And when you're in a place of not feeling well or not feeling yourself or not connected to who you are, and you feel like you can't express that in any other way, that's sad. And that is such a waste of life. So to have an episode like today where we can advocate and say it's okay to ask for help, and not only that, but how to encourage people to ask for help or to know when other people are asking for help. Because I know you and I discussed that in the pre-screening interview, is number one, how do you ask for help? So let's get on that. If you're not happy and you're scared of being ridiculed, rejected, how do you ask for help? How do you confidently ask for help and take that leap, right? How would you suggest people do that?
When I make the decision to ask for help, it was on my 40th birthday that I asked myself that question. If I'm so depressed since I was, that I did not want to live more than 60 years old, I only got 20 years left in my life, what do I truly want? Yes, you don't need to go to as extreme as I am, but ask yourself that day, do I still want to be at this state for the next 20 years? Or what do I truly want? And I took a hard, long think about what do I want. And I realized that all I want was being happy and finding a partner that would treasure me, celebrate me to be who I am. And that's how I took the leap and to try and get out. And it wasn't easy. And it's about really reaching out to the people you can trust. These days, there's a lot easier asking for help because of how strong the social media is. Go and find the person that you are aligned with. Go and listen to more podcasts or TV streaming like what you are doing here, and see if you relate to that person. See if you like, because first impression lasts. You will go in and see if you can relate and connect to them. And like I mentioned before, you don't need to rip off all your clothes at once. Just do it
No.
layer by layer, little bit by little bit until you are comfortable. And realize this, no one is going to judge you without you first judging yourself. So give yourself that benefit of doubt, not for the other person, but for yourself.
Yeah.
Trust you to be able to speak up so others can trust you too.
Yeah. So for me, and again, you and I are coaches and we deal with confidence and self-love and really reconnecting to who we are. My number one thing for anybody is firstly acknowledging how you feel. Always acknowledge how you feel, whether you're feeling down, whether you're feeling sad, whether you're feeling a lack of confidence, whatever it is that you're feeling, acknowledge that feeling. When we try to ignore it or push it aside, we're actually making it worse. So first and foremost, acknowledge how you're feeling. The second for me is always, and I wholeheartedly agree with you, is do I want to stay this way? Right? If you think about it, not in a momentary, because I always tell people to think in the moment, right? But at the same time, you are completely right. You need to ask yourself, do I want to stay this way? Do I want the rest of my life or even the next year to feel like this? And if your answer is no, or even maybe, then that's your wake up call to, I need to ask for help. And you're right, finding somebody that you align with. I created a PDF a while ago. I'm not offering it on here, but I created it. If anybody wants it, please definitely comment below. If it's how to choose a guide, a coach, a mentor, a psychic, a medium, whatever you're looking for, right? Because spirituality is huge. And I'm also a spiritual teacher, so I had to combine it. But number one thing is do your research. Don't just pick somebody right away. Do your research. Talk to them. Most of us will have a clarity session or something where you can talk to us and get a feel for our energy so that you know you're working in the right way, right? If you feel comfortable with that person and that person makes you feel safe and supported and they have NDAs, right? All of those things, you want somebody you can trust, right? Johnny Depp, let's take him for an example. If Johnny Depp came to me right now and said, Melissa, I'm not happy, and he hasn't, so I have never worked with him, nor will I likely. But if he came to me and said, Melissa, non-disclosure agreement, first thing, confidentiality, first thing, I want people to feel safe and supported and judgment-free space, which is why I created the show, right? Is to highlight these issues and highlight that it is okay to feel down. It's what you do with it. Do you allow it to bring you down? Or do you say, I don't want to feel this way anymore, and I'm going to learn how to ask for help, or I'm going to take that step to ask for help and find the support that you need.
And the funny thing was, I didn't know there was so many support out there when I was at that mental state, thinking that, hey, this is too hard. Like, who will listen to a loser? Who will listen to someone who was always so successful, always so confident on the outside? Who will believe my story? Think of it this way. It's not about who will believe your story. And align back to what you said. Do you believe in what have happened? Do you accept yourself that, yes, that was my past. I admit it. I acknowledge it. Now it's time to create a new belief on it. Our belief come from what we have experienced, what other people have told us, and also what we see other people experience. We may watch too much drama on TV, seeing that, oh, those people are like that. Those people will be treating me this way. So our old belief is like, we cannot ask for help. But once we acknowledge what we have, knowing that, oh, this is actually really happening, and this is me, and I'm okay with it because it have happened. It's like, oh, I dropped the coffee. I dropped the coffee. I missed the bus today. I missed the bus today. Okay, so what's next? Okay, now now you have a choice. Most of us that who are staying in the disempowerment mindset is because we feel like there's no more options. We feel like that every door that we're going to open is disappointment. She will reject me. This person will look me down. Oh, they will not understand what I'm going through. So instead of having that belief in our head, once we acknowledge and accept it, we can start putting that back into a box and then opening new doors with a different mindset, with a mindset that I call it the key of happiness, to actually hold that key of happiness so you can see more things, because everything has two sides. Everything have a positive or a negative. It's like we were talking about before the show, we both hurt our legs. And yeah, it's not a comfortable feeling, but if we completely focus on the pain and what it will cause us, we will just feel so bad for today, isn't it? But instead of that, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to tell myself as a reminder that I'm going to take it easy today. I'm going to see whatever happened. And I would even ask for help if I need to reach on something that I cannot do. And I do not see myself as a failure anymore. I allow to receive support because receiving is so tough.
I love that because you were telling me your leg, right? You went for a massage. So two things, and I'm going to start with that, is if you have an injury or an illness, right? A physical injury or a physical illness, what do? You go to the doctor.
Yeah.
You go to the doctor, right? You go get help. You ask for help, right? If you need crutches, you ask for help. You ask for help. But when it comes to mental health, we don't ask for help. And there are so many of us out there who are willing and able to help in different ways. And I'm not just saying the medical community. You can go to a counselor, a therapist, a psychotherapist, a psychiatrist. You can do all of that. And I encourage you to if you need to. But there are people like Martha and I who help with that in different ways, maybe more in-depth ways. So one of the things that I wanted to mention, and when you said that, unhappiness, you do get stuck in that unhappiness. You get stuck in the negativity. You get stuck in that feeling of, this is just the way I am. This is just who I am. Somebody I know that lives in a very negative space will frequently tell me, if you don't like it, leave. I'm just like, no, I know that you're better than that. That's just your emotions talking, but it is emotional. Your unhappiness is just an emotion. It's an emotion that is attached to a belief. Now, when you calm that emotion down, and this is the second part. So when I have like a 6-step guide, okay? It's called Embrace Your Positivity. It is for when you're feeling down. So number 1, at the top of that list, acknowledge what you're feeling, right? Number 2 is calm the emotion. When you remove the emotion, whether that's through meditation, whether that's through dancing, crying, whatever that looks like, you have to find a way to remove the emotion, right? When you remove the emotion and all you have left is that logical belief, whether it's rational or rational or irrational, doesn't matter. When you can get to the bottom of that belief and you remove the emotion, all of those doors open up. That's when all of those doors open up. You can say, oh, now that I'm not emotional about it, I see that way out. I see that way out. I see this way out. You have multiple options of getting out of that unhappiness. But when you're stuck in the emotion, you won't see it. You won't see it. And that's what leads to panic and anxiety. That's what leads to depression. That's abuse of drugs, alcohol, sex. That's what leads to suicide and depression. It all links back to an emotional component. And when you can remove the emotion and see the logic, you can change your entire life. And that's what people like Martha and I do. We help you change the emotion, change the belief. I go in, you can have negative traumas from your childhood, from your past. I can help you go back. And instead of saying, this made me a victim, you can say, you know what? I felt like a victim at the time, but now I know that that taught me to stand up for myself. That taught me that I wanted something specific. That taught me to follow my dreams. Look at you now, Martha, right? You went from being that person, being drowning in the unhappiness, and then look at you now. You're happy.
It's true. It is true. It's I call it like a 2 seconds mindset shift. The first one is realization, knowing that hey, this have happened. Second is about, oh, I have a choice to make. Now I'm in control. I'm in power. That I can actually make that shift. So knowing that everyone has been given a chance of that 2-second mindset shift, we are all given that. At any given moment when we need it, we just need to realize it, acknowledge it, and make that decision to change. And change is a progress. It's not about you switching to another personality in the 2-second shift. No. It's just about a progress to achieve where you wanted to go, to see your desired result. And there's no failure in it. It's like, oh, like, I'm going on a diet this week and I had a bar of chocolate. I feel terrible about myself. I would say, right, you enjoy some sweetness because we all deserve some sweetness in our life. And let's see what can we do to burn off those calories so you feel amazing again. We're allowed to cheat every now and then, but we just need to find another way to find our result again.
Yep. And you know what? It's not just cheating, though. I don't believe, whether it comes to health and wellness, whether it comes to your physical, your mental, your spiritual, your emotional, it doesn't matter to me. I don't believe in depriving yourself of anything. We shouldn't. You know what? If you start depriving yourself of your emotions, you just start depriving yourself of situations, of people, of when you start depriving yourself, that's when you set yourself up for failure. And our failures are stepping stones, right? Failures are springboards. They're like the gymnast, right? Running down the aisle, they hit that springboard and they launch themselves over, right? Your downtimes, your negativity, your experiences, those are your springboards to propel you forward, right? Look at the show, right? I am what's the word I'm looking for? I have stage fright. I have massive stage fright. And I have massive panic and anxiety with the stage fright, and it only in relation to the stage fright. I went to a show this past weekend at our symphony orchestra. I went to a show. Paul Schaefer was there. Valerie Simpson was there. Amazing performances. And I'm sitting there and again, I have anxiety. I started a talk show, but I'm sitting in my house. I'm not in front of a million people. I can be, but I'm not, right? But I walk into the show and I'm sitting there and I'm watching them do their thing, and they're amazing and they're talking. And I'm like, it's like the 5-year-old version of me is sitting there going, but I want to be up there. And I actually confidently pictured myself up on that stage talking to all those people with no anxiety, no panic, no fear, just confidence. And it was so different that I wanted to go up there. I wanted to find a reason to go up there. I didn't care what it was, but I wanted to find a reason to go up there. And again, when you take that emotion out of it, it changes it, right? And it's baby steps, absolute baby steps to make those changes. Quick interrupt. Today's episode is sponsored by Phoenix Identity. We create a safe space for you to get rid of what's no longer serving you, whatever is making you unhappy, reclaim your identity, and recreate your life the way you want to for yourself, and you'll be in control. That's the beauty part of that. So go check them out. I will be posting the Embrace Your Positivity guide at some later date, but you can check that out on the website. Anyway, please like, follow, and share the show, justlivetv.com. So I absolutely love talking about confidence, right? And asking for help. And that's what we're talking about, right? Having that confidence to ask for help. So I guess our next point is, what do we do when we think somebody else is asking for help? How can we understand that somebody else is asking for help?
I think the first thing is to really respect their space. We can give them support, and just by something simple as, if you need anything, I'm here for you. Start with that first and show them some support instead of judgment, because they are like someone who's tipping their post into the water, but they need to see it to happen. It could be simple as, hey, send them a bunch of flowers. It could be simple as, hey, I bought this cake. Would you like to share it with me? Small things like that to allow them the opportunity to open up, instead of saying something like, you don't look happy. You don't look like that you're smiling. What's wrong, honey? I can help you. That's scary to someone who's in silence, because I'm like, oh my God, she can see my worries. She can see that I'm not happy. Oh my God, what am I portraying? That actually creates more stress. You need to be that kind and understanding and respectful person. I know a lot of us want to help. Who doesn't? As a normal human being, we see someone in distress, what we want to do, we want to run up and pick them up and cheer them up all the way. But the receiver may not need that at that stage. What they want is a respect, to know that you are there when I need you. So create that opportunity to be there for them. Say, hey, I'm going out for tonight for dinner. Would you like some soup that I see them having there? I can bring it over to you afterward. Would you like that? Hey, let's go out for a coffee. I found this coffee shop have beautiful cakes. Let's share it. Little opportunity like that allow them the chance to open up themselves gradually and safely and comfortably. And that will be my tip, that if you notice someone around you needs support, all you have to do is really to show up and be there, but with respect.
Yeah. No, I agree. Another thing I want to mention is the difference between listening, and there's 3 types of listening, and I've mentioned this on a previous video where I've said the 3 differences. So there's listening, and you're not actually listening, you're thinking of what you want to say. right? That's the second version. I kind of skipped over the first. The first form of listening is when you're listening to somebody, but you're not actually listening to what they're saying. You're playing on your phone, or you're looking at something else, or you're paying attention to something else, and you're going, yeah, 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 I get, yeah, right? And you're not actually listening. The second version, and I mentioned it already, is when you listen, but in your head, you're listening and you're responding in your head already. You're building everything that you want to say. You're not actually taking in what the other person is trying to tell you. The third version, and this is the healthy one, is listening to what the person is actually trying to say. It's not just their words, it's their words, it's their mannerisms, it's the energy that they're putting off. It's, you know, if you're an empath, or you're energetically inclined, you can feel that energy, and you're reading the situation, right? You're reading what they're saying versus what they're doing, what their face looks like. And sometimes, you know, it's for women, and this is one of the things, women or men, the sign for domestic abuse, right? The sign that somebody needs help. I'm not going to do it on here because actually you can. I like it, but at the same time, I always worry about people posting it, because then everybody knows about it and the wrong people might see it, right? But again, it is the thumb and down. That is the international universal sign for I need help. Thumb in, down. That's help. And a lot of people will do that when they're asking for help. So making sure that you're listening and actually paying attention to the mannerisms, the facial expressions, right? The twitches, maybe they're doing that over there, right? There are a lot of ways people can ask for help, and it is physical, it is all of those. And you really need to just pay attention and truly listen to what the other person is saying.
I agree with you. Listening is hard because we always have that feeling of that, oh, we can help. Oh, like the second type of listening that you were talking about, that, oh, we can help, we can help. We started to form a solution to what they're actually having. Now, if you truly listen to one person, they will feel like that they're acknowledged. They will feel like that, oh, you have listened to what I say. So I find that having that importance of active listening, it really helps because it's only 30% involved in words. The 50% is actually how they actually portray of the energy that they're coming out. And I love the fact that you shared that universal health signal. I saw that a reminder of a video that I actually share on my Facebook page about this universal hand signal. And it's great for people to actually know because a lot of us don't. I know a lot of us don't realize that. And in desperate situation, if we actually know, that may just save one person.
Yep. And because we're doing it and how to ask for help, I do want to talk about different variations to that hand signal. If you're in a bar and you're having a really bad date and you fear for your safety, you can ask the bartender or your waiter for an angel shot. Now, there are different variations to the angel shot, but if you ask your bartender or your server for an angel shot, I'd ask that you Google it and find out those different variations, because I don't know off the top of my head, but there are different variations of whether you need an escort, whether you need police, whatever, right? Spilt, whatever. Another one is if you're walking down the street, and this is particularly for young girls and women, if somebody is walking down the street and you feel unsafe and you see an older woman or another young woman walking towards you, say mom or sister and engage with that woman. And every woman out there, and it is a lot to do with women's safety, is if you see another woman come up towards you and they're saying mom, sister, or they're pretending that they know you, engage with that person, look around, take an idea of the surroundings, because they may just need your help. And there's a lot of stuff that goes on. I think if we as a humanity paid a little bit more attention to what was going on around us, we would not we wouldn't see some of the stuff that we see in the media. There's been a few things where I live where middle of the day after school, a young girl was taken from a bus stop and hurt. And I sit there and go, who didn't, like, did somebody not see that? Right. And it worries me. I have young girls, right? I have young girls and I have teenage sons. And these are lessons that I teach them about how to ask for help, right? If you see somebody else, my sons know that if a girl comes up to them and pretends that they're related or friends or that boyfriend, that you play along, because that girl may need your help. And they know that. And it is such a big lesson on how to ask for help, right? Is having that ability to ask for help. But again, if you're asking for help, read the person, right? If that person looks like looks okay and, may seem friendly, just do what you need to do. Ask for help, find somebody who looks like they would be there for you. I know that if I'm walking down the street and I see something that I don't like going on, my look is going to be raging mama bear. I don't care who you are. If you're in trouble, my raging mama bear face will be on. You can still come to me. I will protect you. But my face might show a little bit something different. I'm very expressive, especially when I get angry. I look quite mean. So yeah.
That is so true. And it's so good that I love the way that you share. I'm going to do some Googling later, maybe work something out into something for people to actually look into finding out ways to actually help. I think it's actually a really good thing to share.
Absolutely. And we will be posting that in I'm going to shamelessly promote my group because it is no profit. It's a movement. I've created what's known as, or what will be known as, the Women Supporting Women movement. You can find it on Facebook at WSW Can. You can find it on the website. It's uploading, so the website is not ready yet, but it is, again, WSW Can. And it's Women Supporting Women Can, because women supporting women can do anything. And I'll make sure that if you upload that, or if I upload that, we have that information in there, Women Supporting Women, because I'm not saying men don't get it too, because they do, but as women, we should be empowering, we should be supporting, we should have that freedom. And what I've done with WSW is I've created a space where you can come in, vent about your partners, vent about your day, share your wins. I'm building a community of women to build each other up. And just, if you need that pat on the back, or you need somebody to listen, or you just need to say, I need help, that's going to be a safe space for you to do that, where not only myself, but my co-partners on that movement will also be there with you. And we all have experience with domestic violence, with sex work, with a lot of different aspects of being a woman, and not so safe ones. So if you're in trouble, if you need help, please join WSW. If you would like to support WSW, we are accepting donations for the cause. So while we get it all up and ready and set and start the movement, because we do need to be asking for help, no matter whether we're male, female, binary, non-gender, it doesn't matter what your designation is. We should all be helping each other build a safe, strong, and happy community. And at the beginning of this video, we were talking about people in high profile positions like you were, right? And celebrities and politicians, lawyers, dentists, right? It's okay to not be happy. It's okay to not be happy. And for everybody else, before you say anything to somebody about why they should be happy or not, shut your mouth. I love you, but shut your mouth. We have no right whatsoever. And this, again, my show, my belief right here. If somebody disagrees with me, I wholeheartedly welcome that, and I appreciate it. My belief is we have absolutely zero to no right to tell somebody else that they should be happy because they have a different situation than we do. There is not a single person in this universe who is not going to experience negativity in one way, shape, form, or another. We are all susceptible to it. We all experience it. There is not a single person who gets in and out of this world without some form of negativity. None. It is our responsibility as human beings to support each other and not say, well, at least you're not being cheated on, or why would you be unhappy when you've got all of that? That's not okay. That is not you sharing your opinion. That is you being judgmental. And we are not here for that. We are here to help each other rise, to help each other support each other and grow and have a happy, loving existence as much as we can, because life's going to hit us, whether we want it to or not. Everybody's going to get hit by the life bus. We're actually doing an episode on that, getting hit by the life bus. But everybody is going to get hit by the life bus. And who are we to judge? Who are we?
And sometimes it's also a signal for that person to tell you that there's something that not happy going on in their life, because all they are seeing is the other side of the coin. If they cannot understand why you're not happy, you got everything in life. You just got that latest limited edition Louis Vuitton handbag. How can you be not happy? I would die to have that. Can you hear the sadness that they actually have? So it's about understanding on both sides as well.
Mhm.
And maybe the other person actually need help too. So let's give the support to both sides, that we
Exactly.
all can support each other. And when we don't see it as, oh, she's judging me, instead of looking at, hey, maybe she needed help too. Our mind, again, like you said, take the emotion out, put the logic back in. Because only when people who are not content and not happy, they were starting to have more judgment on other people, telling people what to do, because that's what they wish they should have done. So instead of looking at it as, oh, she's judging me and things, look at it and say, hey, maybe she needs something in her life to make her happy. Maybe by me helping that person, I will feel more fulfilled, because that's how I started. And look at other people needing help. Even I wasn't happy, but when I helped them, I feel a lot better, even just in simple way, shape, or form. People tell me I'm very generous, but I realize that it's not just about generosity. It's about I have a compassion, a heart to help other people. And I believe we all have that. But sometimes they're blinded by our situation, our life situation, our finances, our stress, our work. But inside of us, we all got that goodness. And I believe in it. A lot of people say that maybe I'm naive, but a child, once they're born, they are not meant to be evil. They're not like those horror movie we see that they've been possessed by devil when they're born. Everyone is born pure and kind and soft and kindness and compassionate. How we change is what experience that we have that shape up to who we are today. So allow them to share, allow them to actually express. So we have always contained this kindness and compassion in our heart to support and help. And be very careful the differences between empathy and compassion. When you are too empathy, you're starting to treat the person like a baby. That's what I did to my ex-husband. I look after every single thing of his life, including what clothes he's gonna wear the next day. Let's say it in that way. And that was me being controlling, not being and being empathy, treating him like a baby, without realizing that I only need to say, I understand, I hear you, and I support you. That's compassionate. So it's a huge difference between, oh, let me help you with that. And I'm going to help you from the ground up, looking after you like a grandmother looking at a child, because that does not have any empowerment in it. So they will stay in that victim mode instead of, oh, realizing that, hey, you know what? She gave me the space to try. She gave me the space to actually learn. That's the difference. And you need to acknowledge them and let them know, I'm giving you a space to learn, because I can help you to fish a fish, and you'll be full for one day. But what will happen the next day? I rather teach you how to fish. That way you can support yourself without me being there with you. And you are a capable person to look after yourself after. And
Yep.
that's what we wanted to help people with. Not just to help you in the time of need, but to show you a way that you can hold your hand even when there's no one around you. And that's why it's so good of us being who we are today.
Exactly. And I do that in my own coaching practice, right? I always tell my clients, I don't want you to need me. I'm not creating your life. You're creating your life. So let's teach you how to create it for yourself. And it's teaching them to do it for themselves. And then they don't need you.
Exactly.
Right. And
we can
that's
stay
our
friends.
yeah,
This
and
is friends.
that's our job as mothers too, right?
Yeah.
Mothers, you teach them how to do for themselves, and then you become friends. You'll always be there for them whenever they need you, but it's totally different. And one of the things that I love you mentioned, and I appreciate you mentioning it because I did get very emotional there. When it comes to judgment, I get very agitated. I get very angry. I get very passionate. It is true though. Our bullies, unless they are sociopathic, which is totally different, our bullies are usually screaming for help. Our quiet, reserved children are usually wanting help. There are signs that our people need help, whether that is, and I mean all people by everybody. I just generalized population, not our people in any bad ways, but our people, like our children, our friends, our family, our guests, the people we meet online. Everybody needs help. And again, being able to identify when they need help, how they need help, or just saying, hey, I'm here. Whatever you need, if you need an ear, if you need coffee, if you need soup, I'm here. Right. And I've got you. Sometimes that's all you need.
Exactly. And it's to give them the space to come up to you. Think about this. If you buy a child a Mercedes on the first time that they got their driving license, they will treat it and crash it within the first year. Pretty much that's the statistic. But if that child were given the chance to earn for their car, even that it was a bomb, it was only a $2,000 secondhand car that will fall apart any minute, they will treasure it like a Ferrari because they have worked hard for it. They need to have a space to earn that. And once they earn it, they feel empowered. So instead of, again, using our empathy, use compassion to understand them, to listen to them, and to support them in the way that allowing them to grow. So they get what they want at the end of the day. Because I been that person, I'm guilty of it, trying to pave the way for my people around me and thinking that, oh, this is the best life that you're in. But I didn't realize in their eyes, I was being so controlling. I was trying to control their life instead of giving them space. So that was a good realization for me. Hey, I need to learn to just be compassionate and not being that empathy person. Being an empath is like, we know we're such a kind person at heart and we get passionate, we get so involved in what we're doing, but having that step back, and it's hard because it's taking emotion out, but we're human are driven by emotion, not logic. So when we have to switch our head and put our logic in, that's when different start. And it is to bring me up to a thinking that that's why when we find the normal people in our life, I'm talking about your sister, your brother, your school teacher, or someone like that who did not have the qualification or the experience to understand what you're talking about. And that's when a lot of us that who were in silence stay in silence, because maybe we try to reach out for help, but we got knocked back by people. Oh, you are just thinking negatively, think positively. What are you talking about? You're scared to speak to your bosses. They're just human. They're like, what are you talking about? And when they think, those people who are not well trained in this area, they think they're supporting you, but instead they're hitting your confidence. Like, oh, I can't ask because that's the answer I'm going to get. But when you're talking to a professional like yourself and myself, we have the experience to know how to listen. like active listening, what you mentioned there.
Yep.
And instead of giving in our opinion, we allow you to speak and actually hear your thing. So don't be afraid to actually try again. If you have tried it 10 million times, just try one more time and see what will happen when you talk to a professional, because there will be a difference. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Well, is there anything else you'd like to share before we end the episode today?
I wanted to let everyone know we are okay. We are always going to be okay. But is it being okay good enough for you for the rest of your life?
Mm-hmm.
If that answer is maybe or a no, feel free to reach out.
Absolutely. Well, just a family, our episode today has been sponsored by Phoenix Identity, who helps you remove all of those negative points that you don't like about your life. You're going to burn it to the ground, reclaim your identity, and recreate a life that you're in charge of, that you live for you. That's the goal at Phoenix Identity. And we specialize in celebrities. We specialize in working with high profile individuals who are scared because they're going to be ridiculed and rejected. We don't do that at a Phoenix Identity. We take you at face value. You are human. We're human. We're just trying to help you be happy. So take a look at them at phoenixidentity.com. So for anybody watching the show or catching the replay, please go like, follow, and share the show on your social media accounts. If you would like to get notified when we go live or what our upcoming episodes are or anything else that comes up in the near future, please go and subscribe to our newsletter at justalivetv.com. If you would like to be a guest co-host, if you would like to be a guest blogger, a sponsor, or if you would like to have a topic featured on the show, please reach out to us again, justalivetv.com, or you can find us on our multitude of social media platforms. We are on majority of them. So go and check us out, like us. We need to bring our numbers up on some of them so we can live stream. Hence TikTok and LinkedIn. Please go like our pages and follow, please, so we can go live. Anything else? Again, please reach out. If you are having any issues, if you are feeling alone, if you're feeling unhappy, or you're struggling to ask for help, please reach out to whoever you feel comfortable reaching out to. If you'd like to reach to myself or Martha, please do so. Our links, our contact information is in the description of this episode as well. Please go and join Women Supporting Women at WSW Can. You can find it on Facebook, on the website. The website is not built yet, but we are getting there. But Women Supporting Women is a movement. It is a vibe. We are creating transformation. Please go and reach out and connect with us. So, Martha, thank you so much for joining me today. I really loved this episode. I really appreciated it.
It's great. It's great to be able to be here and supporting your movement. I love it.
Thank you. We'll connect after. All right. Well, thank you again, Martha. Thank you, Just a Family. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please reach out. Again, this is Melissa Krechler, your host, and I will see you on the next episode. Bye.